After you've finished rolling your strips, you want to wash your hands with your gloves on. And the reason why you do that is you don't want any leftover paint flaking off the gloves onto your work. And all we do is we take our 3 strips and we line them up like that, and we stick them in our clamp. I'm sticking in only about 1/8 of an inch inside the clamp, and then I push the clamp closed to make sure they're really held there tightly. And the next step is to braid them. And we do exactly the same thing that we learned in chapter 1. We just braid them. And I'm trying to touch only the area that I'm braiding. I'm trying to avoid touching the whole strip. So I'm really trying only to touch where I'm braiding. And we braid all 3 strips. Like that. One of the reasons why we needed the strips was to make them more flexible during braiding. So this is where that kneading really helps you. Look at this beautiful, beautiful pattern we've got here. I'll just continue braiding. Like that. And if the tips on the other end don't exactly align, that's pretty much normal. That's what tends to happen. So I've got 1 short one and 2 longer ones here, and that's just fine. We take it out of the clamp, give it a little bit of a shaping, a little bit of a pull, and now I loop the 2 ends. We're going to make sort of a teardrop shape. So I gather the 2 ends together like this. And I'll put a clothespin right there. Like that. And make sure that both sides are within the wood of the clothespin. And then I squeeze it. And you'll see a little moisture will come out when you squeeze it. And this is so we get a nice flat surface here if we want to, depending on what we do with it next. Once it's cured. The next step is to shape it, and I want a nice teardrop shape. You can see I already have a teardrop shape, but I want to flatten it out. So all I do is just flatten it. Now you want to handle this material as little as possible until it's cured. So I put a basic shape in there, just like that, with as little handling as possible. As we will lose our smooth surface and we'll end up with a rough surface if we handle it too much. So now we've got a nice teardrop shape, and we put that in a pan. And that's going to go in our solar oven, which I'll show you next. Cure your Makigami strips in a car parked in the hot sun. Even in the middle of winter, they'll cure in a matter of a few hours.